All right, we are live for the On the Hunt podcast, episode 50. That is where we are tonight, episode 50. And as you can tell, we have got a full house here when it comes to all of our different broadcasters. We're going to start off first by saying hello to Mr. Bobby Bless. Bobby, how's it going?
Man, what's up, dude? Hey, we first place in the North. You'd have told me that about August, about this time, this year we'd be first place going into October or halfway through October, I'd be all in. I signed up for that. I like the 4-1.
Hey, I certainly like that as well, especially when the other teams in the division combined have 4 wins. That makes it extra special. Reggie Funches, how's it going, my friend?
Slow motion, my brother. Slow motion.
Well, hey, slow motion is better than no motion, right?
Absolutely.
Nate Rucker, how's it going, my friend?
Hey, and one of the best movies, I know you done already talked about it on, your movie show, movies that made you want to be a producer. But guess what? One of the greatest quotes ever. If you aim first, you last.
So I have not actually talked about that one yet. That is one of my favorites. I have to talk about that one at some point. I'm just sharing our link everywhere so that everybody knows we're live right now and folks can start, filing into the broadcast here. If you are already watching, hey, we appreciate it. Leave us some comments, like this video, and subscribe if you have not already. Also, share this video. If you know other Lions fans, share it. We love to have, the whole Lions community on the broadcast tonight. That would be amazing. If you are new here, we're going to get you acquainted right out the gate. When we win a game, the number one Lions fan, Mr. Bobby Bless, breaks out his wallet and he goes and gets himself a victory hat. It's a tradition. And that tradition continued after the butt whooping that we put down on the Carolina Panthers. Bobby Bless, take it away, my friend. Show us that hat.
Man, you want to know what's crazy? That's actually what I did. I went into my wallet too. So man, you got cameras somewhere, Elijah. But anyway, what I was getting at, yeah, that boy, he's slick. He's slick, Nate. You gotta watch him.
Man, you already know. I know.
Man, I didn't know he was so slick like that. But anyway, as everybody know, my favorite thing to do is the victory formation. I don't even remember if we got it. I was so turned up. Then I don't even remember it. But when them Lions, but when them Lions win, I buys me a hat. And now the when I go to Lids, they actually stopping what they doing to make sure I get a hat now. So I done even moved up in class around here. But make a long story. Yeah, dog, dude really helped me find this hat. So I can't even remember the kid name, but shout out to the Lids workers in Toledo, Ohio at Franklin Park Mall because they made me feel like I was somebody today.
Great if you're going to do it right, man, you got to get his name so you can give him a shout out.
You right. I was so happy because Nate, when you see this hat, it's sweet, man. I don't care about that dude's name. I'm dumb. But he was still nice. Good kid, though. Shout out. Good kid. But here go the hat.
Oh, that's
trying to zoom it in close. Yeah, this month sweet. I'm trying to zoom it in so we can see it real good. It got the state of Michigan and got like the half line. Yeah, that's dope. This dope for real. Yeah. So it got the state of Michigan on there. It got the half black lion, like the first part of the lion logo is black, the middle of it is blue, and the back end is black. And the thing that caught my eye is I ain't never seen nothing like that before. And it got the they just showing the presentation of I guess I don't know what year that was. Yeah, so it got a lot of different stuff on there. And it's a fitted cap too. It's size hook. You know what I mean? That hook head. Yeah, this is for that hook head, man. That's why I wear a hat. And it got this nice little Lions logo on the back. So if you really wanted to, pull the rocket to the back, you got the nice lion logo on the back. But yeah, man, this it's actually was $45, but with my Lids discount, it was about $37. And okay. Yeah, so it was about 37. Yeah, 37 with my discount. So that was pretty decent, you know what I mean? So I just know I need about, if I want a sweet hat, I need about a good $40 to give me a nice top of the line Lions hat. But the thing I wanted to talk about, we got all these new Lions fans and they buying the stuff that hey, when nobody buying the stuff before me. You feel me? Now I gotta compete with folks. You feel me? They running low on stuff. So like going into the what he say? Yeah, but like going into the store, I'm running out of hats because I didn't had them all. So I will have to start ordering them on Sunday, man, or during the game, because I get more of a variety of hats and I get a bigger discount too ordering online. But it ain't because the discount, it's because I done brought down there every hat in there, man. I swear, like, I don't know what the new ones selling out too quick kind of thing. So all you new Lions fans, y'all need to have a seat because y'all fucking with my inventory, man.
No, you have to start buying hats for other people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. But yeah, buy one get one half off too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something, man, because I gotta get. Hey, I might get one person out of line doing that, huh, Reggie? You ain't lying. Yeah. I'm with that. But anyway, I think we're gonna recap the Panthers game. So I want to throw it to Nate, or who was I throwing it to? I can't even remember. Or is I throwing
it to yourself? Because you
go to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going first. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, that game was like surprisingly good because, as we all know, St. Brown and Gibbs was out, but it was good to see how Jared Goff worked with the pieces he got. It's because the fact, even though it's kind of hard to explain, because we know St. Brown get a high volume of passes, but it don't seem like he forced the ball to him kind of thing. So without him being there, with him normally spreading the ball around, it seemed like he could still do that same thing. Because I haven't seen Khalif Raymond catch that many passes in a good while. He was like literally a good part of the offense. And that's as you guys remember, Campbell first year, man, our receivers so beat up. Khalif was down there a 1 or a 2 at times. So that was all that was good to see him actually implementing an offense. It was good, and this all coming from Jared Goff spreading around on the Panthers too, because it was good to see Marvin Jones even being a factor, not closer to the end of his career. It's like he did his thing. Laporta, they doing trick plays, hiking the ball between each other's legs, doing flea fingers and stuff. So that obviously tell you he having fun out there. All these guys is having fun out there. They a physical team, and like Campbell said, they did what they were supposed to do, and I can definitely respect that. That defense, Aiden Hutchinson looking like a Motor City J.J. Watt, busting the moves just because he's just so agile. And every time you get a pick, Nate, it's throwing me back to what you told me about how he's the best read and react player on the defense, even this year, huh? Him and Branch, huh?
Man, I told you.
Yeah, man. So Aiden Hutch, and not only he getting to the quarterback, he pressuring the quarterback, he also stealing the ball too. So, hey, I'm happy, man, and I can't wait to see him play against Tampa Bay because I want to see us play against the real team. I don't want us to get. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want us to get fat off these cupcakes. But just to make a long story short, though, and just make a long story short, man, it's good that even though the Lions, own their game, but they also been 0-4, so they already know you better take these 0-4 people serious because when we was 0-4, we was coming for you. So it's good to see them actually stump them out and just not take them lightly, because there's a lot of times in the past with our football team, we play up to our competition. If most of you fellas probably know what I'm talking about. So to be able to stump a team that we definitely better than out from pretty much from whistle to whistle. I'm really happy with my team, and as it goes on, people starting to realize Detroit Lions is going to be a factor in the NFC. So, Nate,
man, it's what I expected. I expected the last whooping. We wanted that revenge. We wanted to let them know we ain't putting on y'all rigged ass turf with the pins and needles and the hammers and the screws in it and shit. Y'all actually came to the real Lions then. Y'all got chewed up. I mean, the pressure was relentless. I mean, it was relentless. Truly, truly relentless. And it was good to see, like I say, Jared Goff utilize everybody. When you have a quarterback that's playing that well, everybody is a weapon. Everybody is a weapon. And when you're in that type of groove, like I say, man, you see the trick plays between the legs. It messed everybody up until they slowed it down. I seen it. I called it. I said, wait a minute, did you just throw the ball between his legs? And I was like, because there was no way Goff turned around and handed it off that fast. But that also shows just how good Frank Ragnow is for them to pull that off. You have to be accurate with your snaps and still getting up in pass protection or your run.
Nate, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. That is an extra step for sure.
Just how good. So you're talking about being accurate with your release. When you hiking that ball, you're going really between Goff legs into David Montgomery's pocket, where he don't have to reach for it. He's just waiting to catch it. And then what else, man? Kansas City. So was that Kansas City? Yeah, Kansas City. Keep stealing our plays. They stole another one.
No, that was 49ers. That was 49ers.
My bad. Yeah, Kansas City doing too. But yeah, 49. And somebody always stealing something from Ben Johnson. And you just look up like, okay. Oh, so y'all wanted to get Kittle another touchdown. So y'all stole one of our plays. It's okay. Y'all need to give us a finder's fee and or something. Give us some compensation.
Hey, Nate, actually the 49ers ran it in 87 in the Super Bowl against Cincinnati. So or whenever they play Cincinnati in Super Bowl. It ain't the Lions play though. I love Ben Johnson. It was the same way, but they didn't get a touchdown off of it though.
Yeah, but and plus ain't nobody thought about no plays from 87.
No, I seen it on Twitter though. That's why I know. Yeah, because the 49ers, they was because it was a Lions fan and 49er fan arguing. So I'm sitting back eating my popcorn and stuff. But then my dude hit him with the video from 87. Hey, he reminded me of me. I used to be in the group busting out the video. He reminded me. I was like, what's the doom 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 like the Law and Order? I said it's over. He won. But it's still a sweet play because I wasn't ready for it because I was like, how did he get wide open? Because for some reason I did not see him pitch it back to no, I didn't see the first dude give it to the next dude that pitched it to Goff. So I'm like, watching at home and like confused, like that was just a fucking play. You think they run in the playground or something though?
No, it was good, but I'm just glad we got that dub. Reg, man, what was your take? What did you think about that game, dog?
It's amazing what you can do when you can control the line of scrimmage. Just amazing. Like, you can put me and you back there at QB. And I'm just like, you always had a threat of a play action, which is phenomenal. You can have injuries on the line, and now we just plug and play on the offensive line, which is great. One thing I wanted to talk about really was something it was an amazing stat to me. Penei Sewell has only given up 2 pressures
all year
season. And the 2 pressures came when he was playing out of position at left tackle.
Yeah, I'm going to say that was on the left side. That was playing the left side.
Right tackle. So that just shows you just like it's so smart to just build from the line out. You make sure
full credit for that.
you build from the line out, man. Like you can't do anything if you can't prevent your quarterback from getting sacked, and then on the defensive end being able to sack the quarterback.
Right.
Like those are two keys to any football game. And I'm just happy that these guys are rolling. They're smashing the guys they're supposed to smash. You know, I said it last week. You know, one of my favorite quotes from Remember the Titans is "Run it up, Herm, leave no doubt."
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did. They made sure that he left no doubt as to who was the dominant team on the field. One thing that was funny though, I don't know why I never noticed how much of a crier Thielen is. And mind you, he played in Minnesota, so I saw him play a lot. I don't remember.
But he tried a lot. Yes, remember. Matter of fact, the biggest what it really came last year. Remember, a Warrior was getting all those pass interference that one game. He had like 5 or 6, whatever. This was against Minnesota. So the one they didn't call, Thielen almost shit his entire uniform. He was I was like, dude. And that one wasn't even a pass interference. And they looking at him like, dude, he didn't do nothing to you. You failed. And I mean, he had a whole tantrum.
That slipped my mind because I'm telling you, I'm like, bro, my man is crying every time they hike the ball. Like at this point now, I'm surprised when he didn't cry.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. I just, it's anybody, and I'm just talking to my listeners, period. I was telling people about David Montgomery. I kept telling people this ain't got nothing to do. This ain't got nothing to do with his actual talent level.
Yes, because y'all remember, because I was like, is he back? Because I was mad about Jamal Williams. And then I was like, you and Reggie and Nate was like, he better. Don't worry. Okay, he better. I ain't worrying. He better. I ain't worrying.
Everything had to do with how horrible Chicago was. Had nothing to do with that man's talent. When I found out that we was getting Montgomery and we got him for kick, I was like, oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, what have we done? Look, you talk about a bell cow, you ain't gotta worry, I got this. That offensive line, there should be no game that we're not in it. Because we should be able to run the football against 90% of the teams in the NFL. 90%. We should be able to at least run the football, which means we should always have an effective play action. Because we should always be able to run the football. And I can't wait till you start getting Gibbs out there, you start getting Jameson out there, and now we hit you from all angles with the mind that Ben Johnson got. It's like a perfect storm right now.
I'm just hoping that whoever they get, because they do a lot of things in-house, is taking notes and being, on being creative. And Ben Johnson is teaching as he goes.
You know what I'm thinking? Nate?
Play caller, all that. I'm just hoping.
You know what I'm thinking?
What's that?
I'm ready to make him the highest paid assistant in the NFL. On par with some of these head coaches.
Like they did Jason Garrett.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If I'd rather pay him. I ain't gonna say than rather pay golf, but I'm just saying I'd rather go ahead and cash him out. Because right now, to me, I feel like he's the more important piece, even over golf. Golf is executing his plan in my eyes. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm just looking at it like you try to secure Ben Johnson, even though it's not a factor in the salary cap that way. But I'm just saying, you do what you got to do. I will cash him out.
What you think?
honestly, to tell you the truth, if I'm Campbell, that's already a conversation I'm having. I'm having that conversation. Hey man, don't let him go. Don't let him go. I want him to be the Eric Bieniemy to my Andy Reid. Like you
That's
ain't going
super
nowhere.
funny.
It's me and
You
you.
ain't lying.
Matter of fact,
That's a
we
good
gotta
one,
find
Reggie.
some dirt on Ben Johnson, so don't nobody want
Oh my God. Eli,
Yeah.
Eli,
Hey,
what you
hey,
think
hey,
about that? You
hey,
gotta do
find a
your
bitch and give
recap.
him a joint. Hope he's smoking some weed or something. Catch his ass.
him. I
smoking
gotta
some
hire a
good or
PI.
something.
I'm gonna hire me a PI. See
That's
what's
funny.
that.
Oh Lord. Okay,
Yeah, that's
Eli, you
funny.
gotta do your recap and then go into what do you think of Reggie's proposal?
Oh my God.
Okay, so as far as the game was concerned, hey, I was overjoyed. I mean, we did what we're supposed to do. You know, obviously, I know there's a certain faction of our fan base who are hanging on by a thread every time something negative happens. And I just wanted to make sure they had no more, nothing to be able to say at the end of that game. So I was very happy about that. Obviously, very happy about the offense. But I got to be honest with you, like, I understand why everybody is in love with Ben Johnson. I get it, but I just can't help myself but to say, when are we as a fan base going to show Aaron Glenn that unified love that we show Ben Johnson every single week?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, number one ranked rushing defense in the league right now. We are doing the best against the run that we have ever done in franchise history. And yet it feels like there's a handful of people talking about Aaron Glenn. And, let's throw in the other guys that are on defense too. Dre Bly in the secondary. Kevin Stewart, as linebacker coach, they deserve some credit as well. But it's like, no, we're not going to talk about them, but we're going to talk about.
Man, you a shit starter, Elijah. I swear you a shit starter.
But
And that's so damn good.
My thing is not to start. I'm not trying to start shit, but what I am.
No, but it's a good point, though. It's a good point, man.
What I am trying to do is say we are one of the few teams where you love the coach, you love the OC, and you love the DC. Usually on other teams, there is one of those three that the fan base do not like. Well, yeah, you get what I'm saying, though, Nate. But usually there's one of those three positions that people don't like. And on our team, we don't have that problem. So last year I was over the moon about Ben Johnson. This year I'm over the moon about Aaron Glenn because I've seen the development. And that's where I'm coming from with that. Now, to Reggie's thing. I want to bring y'all back to probably, and I'm just pulling a number out of the hat here. This is episode 50. So we'll say go back to like episode 38. I don't know. It might be episode 38. It might not be. But y'all will certainly remember when I had a conversation, a spirited debate with Bobby Bless about Jared Goff and about what happens whenever his contract comes up. Now we have a decision to make because Brad Holmes has built this roster in such a way that you could plug in Hendon Hooker and keep it rolling once Hendon Hooker is healthy and ready to go. Now, I have backed off of that debate, but if Reggie wants to do what Reggie's talking about, then that to me would signal you pay Ben Johnson and you roll with Hendon. If you believe that Ben Johnson is the reason for the success, not Jared Goff. But the only thing I'll say about that.
Let me clarify that.
Okay, go ahead.
Jared Goff is a capable quarterback.
Right.
If I give him protection, if I give him time, he's cerebral enough to get the ball where I need it to go. That's where he is. He's cerebral enough to do it. Now, if we didn't have this offensive line, where would Jared Goff be? Where would most QBs be? They wouldn't be productive, right? They wouldn't be as productive. Now, I have the mind frame of, depending on where we go this year, depending on where we end up, depending on situational things. Let's say we make it to the playoffs. We win one, and then the second game, Goff bombs for whatever reason. I'll franchise tag him. I'll franchise tag him for a year. I want to get another year to see Hooker get more healthy, whether he's capable of taking that position from him. And now I'm financially still securing my future because I did not give Goff a long-term contract when I could have waited. Now, if we go further than that and Goff is balling, you go ahead and give him his contract extension. I wouldn't go beyond 3 years. And then you allow Hooker to continue to build himself up if you believe that Hooker is going to be who you think he is. That's the other factor. But you start thinking about this too, I'm like, the value that Ben Johnson gives us right now, man, as long as that offensive line stays healthy and productive, he's the catalyst.
So respectfully, I have to disagree because I get that Ben Johnson's a hell of a play caller, but you still got to have that person to go out there and make that play and lead your team. I mean, I don't think Jared Goff gets nearly enough credit for the leadership that he has shown since he's come to Detroit. And I think Ben Johnson, and this might be kind of a stretch for me to say this, but y'all remember The Greatest Show on Turf and the offensive coordinator for The Greatest Show on Turf, Mike Martz. What happened when Mike Martz didn't have Kurt Warner anymore? It kind of fell apart on him. Okay, it kind of fell apart on him. And I'm just saying, I think a match made in heaven is Ben Johnson and Jared Goff. You got to keep them together. And as I said back in whatever episode it was, I said, if Jared Goff is winning playoff games, if we're winning the division on a consistent basis, meaning the next 2 years, that's what happens, you keep him. You give him the money that he wants to have. Now, with that in mind,
what I just said. That's literally what I just said.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I'm saying you don't have to give Ben Johnson the bag. If Ben Johnson ends up taking a head coaching gig somewhere, that's okay. We will find somebody else who can call plays. That's what I'm saying.
That is not. I don't agree with that at all. It's not like a great offensive coordinator grows on trees.
It doesn't, but if that was the case, Ben Johnson would have left last year. It's not about the money with him. You know, like you said, he came back. He wanted to finish what they accomplished, but he also wants to be a head coach as well. It's not like it's not like Dan Campbell is old.
You know what it is, Nate? You know what it is, Nate? I'm not about to make his decision easy. That's basically what I'm saying. You want to be a head coach, I get that. But I'm gonna put this number in front of you to make sure you know how valued you are, and that we do want to keep you. Like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna say, okay, whatever, you go be a head coach somewhere. No.
It don't count against the cap. That's the main thing.
Just in case in the middle of the night you wake up. Just in case in the middle of the night you wake up, you just had a dream about everything that you can do here in Detroit, and you got this nice little contract sitting right there next to your bedside. You go ahead and make your signature if you want. But if not, more power to you.
But yeah,
I ain't got to make it easy.
Like I said, to wrap up what I was saying, to me, I think the match made in heaven is these two together. I think if I had to pick one over the other, I would pick Goff over Ben Johnson, because Goff is actually the one throwing the passes out there. And I do believe you can find somebody, they don't grow on trees, but you can find somebody to call plays and be,
Man, I'm watching Josh Dobbs over here look like he about to take Murray's job. I'm like, with a QB, I'm not saying they a dime a dozen, but it's actually looking like it's almost like a dime a dozen, man. Like if we really sit up here and run through the QBs, the top 15, if you go to the top 15, like I can see you doing that behind a good offense, a great offensive line. That's what we had. Not good, we're great.
Right.
And that's really the key. If I sit up here, I give you time to do what it is that I'm drawing up for you. At this point now, it's about you just execute.
And
Right.
see,
So that's what I'm saying. And that's where Eli's at, which is where I'm at too. Like, I can get somebody to call a play. As long that's whatever, but I need to make sure that I have the quarterback that is seeing the defenses, understanding the playbook. Because remember, some people might not want to hear this. Sorry, y'all. I gotta get one out of every show. But one of the biggest knocks on our guy was what? He had trouble reading defense and they kept having to dumb down playbooks.
right.
So now we have a guy.
Hey, got my dude ran out of town when he said that. He was fired the next week. Whatever.
But
The next week they fired that dude.
But one of the key reasons why I say that is because they said Ben Johnson playbook is 120 to 150
Yeah, I heard
plays
that.
long. He goes into the game with roughly 68 plays. And before they start a game, he may add 20 more.
Mm-hmm.
So for a quarterback to be able, and the offense to have all these plays here, to understand what's being asked of you, and to have it down packed like that, I'll take it. And that's like you said, that's more so of Jared Goff than it is Ben Johnson. That's where that Wonderlic test comes in and how smart you are. How do you do with your pre-reads? How do you do, with your pre-snap counting, your pre-snap direction? Who are you pointing out? Who's your hot man? All this. Who's blitzing? Where are you calling your line audibles? That when you have that much control of an offense, hell, Sheila Hamp can fucking call plays from the booth, and I think Goff right now can execute. That's
And
how
let me do something real quick. I'm gonna run off a few names. I ask you, if you put them behind this offensive line, would the production be similar, much lower, or higher? Just throwing these names out there. I'm just looking through a list right now. Okay. So we're seeing what Brock Purdy's doing right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similar,
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And where was he drafted?
Irrelevant last pick. Iowa State.
Yeah, but we see the benefit of him having an awesome offensive line and pieces around him, right?
Right.
And a great play call.
He come from the Matt Campbell offense, Toledo Rockets old coach too. But okay,
great play call.
That's a quality player. That's a quality offense he was running. That's a quality offense he was running.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna bring up another guy who we know for a fact has been playing behind a horrible offensive line. We got Joe Burrow. A healthy Joe Burrow behind this offensive line. Better. Okay.
Better.
We're gonna pull out Elijah's boy. Geno Smith.
I don't know if he's Elijah's boy. Like
it's your boy. It's your boy. You've been riding with him for about a year and a half now.
I called it. That don't mean I like him. Like
right now.
I'm gonna say similar, but I'm leaning more towards better.
I'm leaning towards. I don't think it'll be better. I'm leaning more towards lower.
I say similar. I'm just saying,
with that completion percentage.
Similar, but lower. But we got to think about it. One thing about the difference in what Geno and what Jared Goff and all this, Geno still gets happy feet and want to take off.
Yeah.
Jared's pre-snap reads is what set you have to when you're talking about pre-snap and picking up blitzes and his pocket presence because he can't run is what separates him. So it's like you're taking a guy like we knew Tom Brady couldn't run for shit, but Tom Brady had some of the best pocket presence. He knew when to move left, move right, step up, step back. That's also a gift that golf has because he's not fleet of foot. So I think,
but honestly, to tell you the truth, when you start thinking about Smith, he was the most accurate quarterback last year.
Mhm.
And then the
And
other thing that makes him really
changed,
good
too.
is his pocket awareness and his ability to avoid defenders. That's really what makes him what he is. So even though their offensive line is not that great, that man is productive behind that line. Now imagine him behind a line where he doesn't even have to worry about pressure. Then he
Yeah, he
actually
probably be
seems to
taking them.
use his athleticism.
Yeah,
Like, I actually think Gino will possibly be better.
I'm leaning with you on that one, Reggie.
I'm not with that one because the thing about it is you're taking. That's like saying if Michael Vick didn't have, you put Michael Vick behind a line and he didn't have to run, he could just sit back there and throw it. His legs is what truly impacts the defense.
But what I'm saying with
him
Gino, that's
Oh, that's
Gino's
good.
I
actually
mean, that's what I'm
sitting in the
saying.
pocket.
I mean, no, that's
Damn,
the
that's
same
good.
thing with Gino. It's the same. It's the same thing with Gino. Gino has to scramble in order. It's not like he's a guy who just sits back there. He's not a precision passer type quarterback. He's accurate, yes,
Well, for the last
but
year
his
and a half,
legs.
and this year, that's what he's been.
But I'm talking. I'm
I
on
mean,
his
we talk about
whole
old
body.
Gino. Old Gino was
I
booty.
know.
We don't even know what Gino really was.
Right. No. So that's what I'm saying. So what we know is, yeah, he's gotten. It's like when dudes in the NBA after 12 years, all of a sudden they can shoot a jumper when they could never shoot a jumper their first 10. You know what I mean? It's just the maturation process. So me personally, I think him being behind his line and not having to move and just trying to affect the defense with his arm. I don't think he's that.
Wouldn't the RPO be more ran more to compensate for that though? Because I hate to I hate to agree with
That's what
Reggie,
I'm saying.
man.
That's what
I
I'm
agree.
saying. I don't know.
All I'm
I
saying
don't
is,
know.
the only thing I'm
RPO
really
open with
saying
him.
is, when it comes to golf and what he actually brings to the table, I'm looking at other QBs that are capable of doing what he does, if not better. And I'm gonna throw out two more guys, and I'm gonna just leave it alone. Another guy that we talk about that consistently gets destroyed, and we've been talking about this kid for a minute, is Fields.
No, hell no.
Oh, no,
No,
absolutely not.
hell no.
Wait. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Oh my God.
Give me 1 second. There are times where I actually say a team is so inept that they destroy what a kid actually can be and what he actually is. Now, if you put him with this team, starting from last year till now, what do you think he would actually be? Because what do we think the hooker is going to be?
Well, number one, he's think of the knock on Justin Fields' problem has always been his choice with his passing. He benefited with that with Ohio State, but when he was at Georgia, this is why he couldn't win the job and he left. He didn't even want to wait, and he got the hell up out of it because they wanted him to work on his accuracy. Even now, even now in Chicago, he misses. He had a great game. Don't get me wrong, but there's games where dudes are wide open, waving their hands, and he don't see them.
So I'm glad. So there was a reason why I said that. Because the other guy that I was thinking about was Daniel Jones. We talked about him last year. No. Wait. Once again, we're talking about a QB that drops back and gets destroyed every time he drops back. But his completion percentage is high when he gets a chance to throw. And he also has the athleticism to back it up.
No,
now, these are young guys. These are still young guys.
because even at Duke, one of the things they talked about was they raised about his athleticism, and he got back on his athleticism because he's not the most accurate dude. And then you're talking about a gunslinger who's not accurate. So it's like, he throws incredibly hard, but we can't act like we didn't have a staple of wide receivers
the last 2 years.
He's been throwing that shit to the moon, and all his shit was underneath.
So
Anything
what?
underneath.
Once again,
But
though,
remember,
if I don't have time to throw the ball, I don't have time to throw the ball.
He had a healthy. When Slayton was healthy, Galladay was healthy.
Slayton? No. We can just stop. Never mind.
One thing about Slayton.
Never mind.
In his hands, it is what it is. Slayton's hands and his ability to separate is the difference. But when you have a quarterback who falls on his own after breaking an 80-yard run, don't nobody that boy throws that shit to the moon.
So we're bringing up embarrassing moments instead of talking about the actual quality of the
team. I'm just saying, but this is what he does, though. But that's just the moniker.
Because if I want to bring up some golf stuff, we got some golf stuff to bring up.
But this is the moniker of a Daniel Jones. And everything isn't just the offensive line. And you also have to look at the player itself and his mind and what he sees. We can't sit here and be like, oh, okay. If he had
how many
more
picks did Daniel Jones throw last year?
Shit, who the fuck knows? I don't give a damn about the picks.
I'm just well, once again, just bringing it up. How many picks do you think?
I can't tell you.
How many picks do you think he threw? Just throw a guess out there.
5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say picks are his thing. It's just more so where the fuck he's overthrowing and who he's hitting. Like a guy doesn't have to throw a bunch of picks to be inaccurate. I don't give a damn about the kid.
So put it like this: the kid he threw 5 interceptions last year. He had a completion percentage of 67%. He got sacked 44 times last year. 44 times. What QB would be successful in that situation? Nobody.
Let's look at how many. Let's see. I think.
Just to throw it out there. Wait, just before you finish, just to throw it out there, he's already been sacked 28 times this year. We're 5
on the pace to get.
He's already been sacked 28 times.
He's on the pace for about 102. I read that.
He's gonna die on the field, man.
But you do know a lot of that.
Daniel Jones off the field.
No. A lot of that is still his fault. Because
come on, Nate. Come on, Nate.
If you cannot
28 times is not all on him.
No, listen. It's not all on him, but it's a lot of it. Because number one, this is why you have hot routes and check downs.
He's been sacked 177 times in his career in 5 years.
He doesn't throw the ball away. He tries to run around with his legs using that athleticism. That's on him. Everything is not the offensive line. This ain't like when David Carr went to the Houston Texans and was killed. That was all the offensive line. Daniel Jones' ability to read a defense is asshole bad. We know this. He's blind as shit.
What is the reason why?
Because he's blind. It's everything's not the offensive line, Rick. You have to throw the ball away.
I'm going to agree to disagree with you, but that still doesn't take away from the point that I made with the other 2 quarterbacks.
No, it's the same thing with Justin Fields.
Like I said,
Justin Fields
right now, we're capable of saying, like you're saying that Ben Johnson is more. Is we're capable of letting him go and being okay. I'm saying there's more of a chance that we let Goff go and be okay.
No, hell no. Now that I don't agree with that.
I think you can find a QB quicker than you can find an offensive coordinator.
Shit. Not the Detroit Lions. Not the Detroit Lions.
I don't know. Eli, what you got? What is you thinking? Eli's be quiet.
And I've just been sitting here wondering, you know, we spent a lot of time talking about a whole lot of quarterbacks in this league. I can't even imagine what type of show we might be doing if we were 0-5 right now, but we're 4-1 leading the division and we're trying to give our quarterback away. It don't make no damn
I
sense.
didn't say anything about giving them away.
I'm just saying, like,
Said franchise tag him at the least.
here's the
Pass
deal.
him out.
All right. Here's the deal.
Do you know what a franchise
Jared
tag
Goff.
costs with him?
Jared Goff, all right, has elevated his game every year that he has been here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go on record right now and say this. We win a playoff game, we win the division. If we do that on a consistent basis, my guy, who I'm very excited about, the backup quarterback for the Lions right now, he don't ever see the field.
Right.
He don't ever see the field. He becomes traded fodder. And I'll tell you this right now, as much as I love number 9, and I love what he did, what he tried to do here in Detroit, I tell you what, Jared Goff stays for another 10 years, he will break every single record Matthew Stafford set for this organization. At the pace he is currently playing right now.
Especially with wins. Especially the wins record. He'll do that about next week.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Listen, because I've been waiting patiently, right? I've been just sitting there letting everyone else talk, and I've been patient on this. But again, to me, I said this back when I said what I said about Hendon Hooker. I said I do not want to have a conversation personally about us looking at other quarterback options until Jared Goff gives me a reason to. He has not given me a reason to. So I'm going to stay loyal to what I said a few shows ago. Is Jared Goff perfect? No, he's not perfect. Is he MVP caliber quarterback? Well, let's give it a few more weeks and let's see. Because right now, he's balling out. So to me, as long as you don't put 2 fucking gloves on, we're fine.
Hey, great point. Hey, I'm glad. Hey, Elijah, I've been saving you a seat. All this stuff that y'all saying about golf, I said this last year. This before we even.
You did.
But I've been on this train.
What made the difference to me, okay, is how he came out this year. How I see him handling every press conference. How I see him taking other players under his wing. It's much more apparent to me now because this is very much a product. Like, again, we love Ben Johnson. We love to give credit to Ben Johnson. We love Dan Campbell. We give credit to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. All those guys deserve their amount of credit. But we cannot forget about our quarterback out there who deserves some credit for where we are right now.
Bad.
So that's why I'm saying, if Jared Goff, and Reggie agrees with me on this, if he is consistently winning games and we're winning playoff games, we're not, it's not like 9-8 and we get bounced, or 9-8 and we don't make it to the dance. Like, that's not what Reggie's talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. That's where we agree. Okay. If he's consistently doing that, Hendon Hooker never sees the field and he ends up getting traded somewhere else, much like the Packers did for over 30 years with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, where they would draft somebody and then that person would end up getting used as trade bait later down the road. Now,
I think they did sit 5 years, right?
Say what?
I said Aaron Rodgers set what, 5 years?
I think so.
I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3.
He sat for what?
It's three.
But you had Aaron Brooks, who was traded. You had Mark Brunell, who was traded. You had Ty Detmer, who was traded. Matt Hasselbeck.
He only sat 3 years.
Green Bay has been doing that for a long time. We're finally getting our opportunity to do that.
He only sat 3 years.
Okay.
But
my point is, if Hendon Hooker is still sitting on the bench in 3 years, he's going to end up getting traded somewhere else. And I like Hendon Hooker, and I think Hendon Hooker can do amazing things in this league. Do not get me wrong. But what I am saying is, for the moment, in my train of thought, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But in my train of thought, I am not entertaining another quarterback until Jared Goff starts doing things that he did to get him kicked out of the Rams.
Tell him. I don't even got to talk no more, Elijah. Take over.
To tell you the truth, that's exactly why I said what I said. Because I've been cautiously optimistic about Goff. Because, and I'll tell you what, I have a friend, diehard Rams fan. Diehard. And when we got him, he was like, man, on one hand, I'm like happy that y'all got him because he could get you out of the situation that you're in if there's certain things around him.
Yeah.
But he said the issue with Goff is when you need him the most, he has a tendency to disappear. And I said, that's what we've all noticed about him.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. That's why I said that's why I'm putting the parameters that I'm putting up. If he supersedes that, we're talking about him elevating this game. That's the true elevation that I want to see.
Yeah, man. Only reason why I disagree because y'all forgetting that the damn Lions defense was dog shit last year, and if they would have had a minute, if they had a minute, no, but I'm just saying though, like he has showed up when we needed him. That's what I'm saying. That's the part I do agree. He has showed up when we needed him. We got to get him in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
To Reggie's point, though, and I might be overstepping here, but what I have noticed, I'll just put it like that because I don't want to talk for Reggie because Reggie can talk for himself. But what I have noticed, okay, and y'all know I study the quarterback position more than any other position on the football field because that's my spot. Okay, what I have noticed is since the team started making our incline last season and going into this season, I ain't worried about what Jared Goff's going to do in the fourth quarter because I know he's going to make the throw we need him to make. That is the big difference to me. Take away the defense, okay? I'm looking at Jared Goff specifically. He's making those throws right now. In the Seahawks game, it's not like he was out there playing defense, but he led us back. In the Kansas City game, he made
I said we only lost that game because he didn't get the chance to get the ball.
But my point is the reason why I'm so high on Jared Goff right now is because he's doing all the things that I think the Rams thought he would do for an entire career. He's now doing it. You know, there's nothing more humbling than being the face of a franchise and then getting kicked off the franchise and going to a place where they basically sent you to die because that's what happened. And Jared Goff said, no, I'm not going to die. And credit to him on that. But again, for me, to put a bow on it with the Jared Goff talk, for me anyway, until he gives me a reason to call for Hendon Hooker, I ain't going to do it because I would much rather Hendon Hooker get to learn behind Jared Goff, get to develop even more on that Ben Johnson offense and Mark Brunell as their quarterback's coach. And let's see what happens a couple years down the road. But I will say next year when Hendon Hooker is healthy for the preseason, all right, now we got something to talk about. Now, as far as Jared Goff's contract is concerned, let's be real about it, folks. If we end up winning this game against the Buccaneers, that is going to be, if it has not already happened already, that's going to be the first knock at the door for Brad Holmes, is Jared Goff's agent saying, hey, you're 5-1 for the first time in a long time. Let's start talking and ironing this thing out for my client. So you might not get the opportunity. You might not get the opportunity to wait till next season to pay him, is what my point is. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll say the next 4 games.
Yeah.
The next 4 games.
If you're 9-1.
The next 4 games that will really truly tell you what's going to happen with Goff.
What's the next 4 games, guys? What's the next 4 games?
If we're 3-1 in these next 4 games, because we got Tampa Bay next week, we got Baltimore.
No, we got the Raiders.
Raiders Monday night. Yeah, that's what we got.
And then we got one more game against
Ravens. At the Ravens. You got Tampa at the Ravens, Raiders, and then you have another game after that I can't remember.
You was going like you had
think
it
that's
all.
Minnesota. I think that's
I had 3 out of 4. Ain't bad. Come on now. Meatloaf said something like that. Anyway,
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I think the last game, that fourth game.
Oh, it's against the Chargers.
Oh
it's
yeah,
Chargers.
yeah. Them all good teams.
So it's Buccaneers, Ravens, Raiders, Chargers. If we're 3-1 at the end of that, I seriously think the negotiations heat up.
yeah.
So
And like
if
I said,
we 4-0, we pay him, right? Is that
Well,
what you're saying?
Oh,
And-
4-0,
we paying.
4-0.
We paying.
We're looking like a quarterback or a Super Bowl contender.
right.
Okay. I
And,
got
and
you.
like,
If we
like
go
I said,
4-0, like you talking about the Chargers, the Ravens, and Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like,
Because
like
you
I
got to
said,
remember, Tampa hasn't given up 100 yards rushing yet this year.
Oh, they haven't?
They haven't.
Okay, we're gonna get to that though, Reggie. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
so like I said though, a few episodes back, my big thing was going into this season, Jared Goff has got to show me something that we haven't done in a long time. Win a playoff game. That was the first thing, was win a playoff game and do so on a consistent basis. That was what I wanted, win the division on a consistent basis. If that doesn't happen, because let's be honest, we're 4-1 right now. Anything can happen. I do have high hopes for this team, as do we all. But if for some reason we fall off a cliff, forget how to play football, Ben Johnson stubs his toe, he's out for 3 weeks, whatever the hell happens, okay? What I did say though, a few episodes back was, if you got to make a decision between paying Jared Goff and keeping the talent on the team, you keep the talent. If we have not won a playoff game and we are not making strides towards the Super Bowl, then in that instance, I would say, let's look at Hendon and let's pay the guys around Jared Goff, because at some point, I forget the saying, but I believe it's the chickens come home to roost or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But at some point, you got Panay's contract coming up. You got Aiden, Amon-Ra. You got all these guys coming up saying, hey, I've contributed. I'd like to get paid quite a bit of money. And at that point, if you got to choose between Goff or the guys that help Goff, and Goff has not shown you the ability to win a playoff game consistently, then again, at that point and at that point only, would I say you let Jared Goff walk and you move on with Hendon and you pay the guys around him. But that's a long way away. We're not even really there right now. But I'm just saying, to make it clear where I stand, that's where I stand. Nate, you got your hand raised.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that was my question. So Goff's contract is up after next year, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. So this is where I'm stuck at, because you guys keep saying consistently. So this would be the first year. Let's say, okay, this year you make it to the playoffs, you win the playoff game, you lose. So
Right.
then going into next year, you're going to have to decide before the playoffs whether you were going to sign him or not. So you can't say consistently. The question is, is everything betting on us getting to the playoffs and winning a game this year or not? Because remember, next year, you're not going to have that option. It's going to be, hey, this is what he's done the last 2 years. We're going to get this done now before this contract is up. Because if, let's say, okay, we go, you make it to the playoffs, we win one game, and then, we're out in the NFC Championship, whatever. Okay. Going into next year, they're not going to wait to see, they're not going to wait to see, oh, okay, let's wait to see if you can get us back to the playoffs, if you get a contract or not. Because then they're going to look at you like, what? So this is what we're doing? And then we're going to be shit.
So here's my line of thinking with that, okay? And it's different for every player. I get that. But I think if we win a playoff game this year, that's a step towards the direction I was talking about. Now, moving into next year, I don't think Jared Goff is the type of player who would sit out games. There's some players who would do that, who would say, I got to protect my value, and I don't blame them for doing it, but I don't think Jared Goff's that type of guy. So I think if he doesn't have a contract at the end of this season, a new contract with the Lions, going into next season, he's going to go out there and play because that's in his nature is to go out there and play.
And it's gonna cost more.
At
It's
that
gonna cost
point,
more.
exactly
It's in
what
his best interest.
exactly what Bobby just said. Exactly what
It's in his
Bobby just
best
said.
interest.
It's going to cost a premium for him to go out there because at the end of that, then he's going to say, well, you made me play to the very last minute without a new deal.
Right.
Here we go. But the other thing is you got to look at the relationship, right? The relationship between Brad Holmes and Jared Goff. I don't think Brad Holmes would do Jared Goff like that, but I want to see a playoff win. That's what I want to see. I want to see a playoff win. Hell, I want to see 2 playoff wins. And with the way this team's looking right now, I've already told people on my radio show here in Messina, I said, it's Buffalo and Detroit for the Super Bowl. I said, Buffalo's going to figure their shit out, and it's going to be Buffalo and Detroit. That's
I will say this when it comes to Goff, yeah, and Brad Holmes when it comes to that matter. There may be a point where Holmes has to pick his boy or this franchise.
right.
You know, that's gonna be the real kicker. Like you have to make a decision about being a loyalist or being a winner.
Mhm.
Right now, he's building a winner. Like that is there's no doubt in that right now in my mind. Like
Right.
We talked about all the pieces that he's bringing in, the young guys that's showing up. You know, everything seems to be. We got Barry Sanders back getting the statue. We got Calvin in the building. You got dudes coming out from the Phoenix Suns coming to see the team. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
These are all those factors that come in and say there's something special happening in Detroit.
I agree with you.
If Jared Goff is a stumbling block and not an asset to that greatness that we see building up, he's got a decision to make.
And
I won't call it a stumbling block. It's just going to be this. If Jared Goff is doing something that we have not done, and he's doing it better,
Pay him.
right, and he's doing it better than the previous guy.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But it's fair. It's fair though.
Wait.
It's fair.
I'm not taking shots. What I'm saying is he's doing it better than the guy before him.
He is.
And you're talking about on a better level. The points per game is higher. The efficiency
Interceptions are lower. The interceptions alone. The interceptions.
I'm just putting all that together. I mean, just everything. Just as an overall play. How
I'm
can we
purposely avoiding
say?
this conversation, by the way.
I'm not listen. But again, I promise. Listen, it is not a shot at Stafford. I'm just saying in general, is that the purpose is to be better than the guy who was before you, because that's what you are judged against.
Right.
Because Stafford was the guy. Stafford was the golden child. But for everything that Stafford did, it was things that he did not do, things that he did not accomplish. So,
And there's also things
Jared Goff,
that Goff has right now that he never did.
Again,
So if you're going to put it out there, if you're going to put it out there, if you got to put it out there, you got to be clean across the board.
Okay. So we're going to be clear across the board. Think about this. Matthew Stafford got how many $100 million contracts?
And see, that's the thing. What Nate just said is why I said what I said a few months ago about if you have to pay Goff or the people around him, you might actually have to think about that because we've already done this mistake before. History repeats itself. I love Stafford. I got 3 of his jerseys sitting in my closet right now. But legitimately, we paid him and didn't pay Sue.
So remember when I made the statement that I said, I really wish that Campbell and this team, the way it is, was here 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That was the reason why I said it. Because even the decision making that you're talking about, wait. When you talk about the decision making that you make as a franchise, if I'm winning or we're building a winner, guess what? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's sacrifice this contract. Let's make this work.
Yeah.
Tom Brady did it for two decades.
Isn't that your quarterback?
He did it for a reason.
Isn't that your leader? Isn't that where he comes in? One of the things that people talk about Tom Brady is him being the greatest bargain in the NFL.
Right.
You know how many $100 million contracts he had? 0.
Right.
But you know how many Super Bowls he got?
And nobody seems.
You know how many Super Bowls he got? You know how many dudes didn't get paid at all from? You know how many dudes didn't get paid at all from New England? You know how many dudes did not get paid?
We're talking about the guy. We're talking about the guy.
That's the thing about it.
The guy.
When Randy Moss wanted his money after he broke the franchise record, what happened? When Randy wanted his money, what happened?
But guess what? They paid him, but they didn't.
They did it the New England way. They did it the New England way. This ain't New England. This wasn't New England.
No. This is what you want to keep making excuses for Stafford. We're not making excuses.
I'm not.
This is the fact. He got $200 million contracts, and he got us 0 playoff wins.
Let me ask you a question. Did Calvin get paid?
Again, we're talking about Stafford.
Did he or did he not?
Stop redirecting. We're not talking about Calvin Johnson. We're talking about the leader of the team, which is supposed to be the head.
And any success that you had was based off of what he did for this team, did he not?
Yeah, and did we not?
Did he have anything symbolizing what's happening right now? Did he?
He had one.
Yeah.
Did he or did he not?
Yes.
So wait.
Yes. In Dallas, the Dallas year.
So he
lost to Dallas. He had
a top 5 offensive line.
Dude, we had the number 2 defense in the league. And then we went.
Did I not just say offensive line? Does he play behind the defensive line? Does he play behind the defensive line?
We had a 1,000-yard rusher. We had a 1,000-yard rusher, though.
You know what? For the sake of the show, let's move on. For the sake of the show, let's move on.
Hey, let's talk about David Montgomery.
For the sake of the show, let's move on.
David Montgomery.
Stop making excuses for that dude. All right. So anyway, before we go too far, I want to get to our listeners.
Okay, never mind.
No, you're making excuse for a dude that ain't here. Well, see, Stafford didn't have this, so what?
I told you he was a bum. He was a bum then, he's a bum now.
He's serious. So our guy,
he's done so much.
Hey, our guy 4 Horsemen said what's popping my
won an NFC game last year.
He got carried by defense. And then tried to give it away.
Won the NFC championship game. Thank you.
No, he didn't. The defense won it.
Thank you.
Anyway, I expect us to score in every game this year. Bill Lockhart said, "Hello, fellas. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Look at what dude is doing out there in San Diego. He's talking about Kellen Moore. We were talking about the offensive coordinators, whether we went Ben Johnson or Jared Goff. He's saying, look at Kellen Moore and look what Doc is missing. Look what Dak is missing in Dallas. Comedian Shay
said, that man calling the plays over there.
She say, E, I love the new cut. Chuck Turner said 100%.
I told you that haircut was nice.
The alfalfa.
The alfalfa. And then 4 Horsemen, I'm just going to sum it up. He's saying that the only game that we should lose out of that 4 or our main concern would be the Chargers.
Shit, they better bang with them.
I agree.
They better bang with them.
And then, he also said Jones needs to be checked for internal bleeding. I'm not sure what Jones. So I'm not sure
Aaron
what Jones.
Maybe Aaron Jones. Maybe Aaron Jones.
He didn't play though.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which way. I don't know. I can't remember which Jones we was talking about. But that's my fault for not paying attention and taking notes when these guys, when our listeners put these comments up, so that I know which direction they was talking about. So I just want to make sure y'all that we address y'all comments. E said he loves your haircut. We all agree with the Chargers, and I don't think he's an offensive coordinator. Dak just sucks.
Amen.
No doubt.
Dak just
So-
sucks. It just
Wait,
is what it is.
who's the guy that they brought in when he got hurt?
Who?
Oh, Cooper Rush.
Dak.
Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush, he was
from
balling.
Michigan.
He was
Yep,
balling
from Central
too.
Michigan.
So let's talk
Triple
about
Y.
David Montgomery because I still have two things that I want to talk about after David Montgomery. So that I'm pretty excited to relay to everybody. So let's start off with the David Montgomery talk. We'll try to keep this topic down to a crisp 10 minutes if we can. We're gonna go over here to Bobby Bless first. Bobby, long story short it for us, David Montgomery.
Yeah, pretty much what I showed. I did the reel today. The Montgomery home run play. Hey man, David Montgomery is benefiting, like Reggie said earlier in the show, of great blocking. Great blocking that can allow you to make mistakes and then find the right one. Very rarely, like we had running backs to go the wrong way. It was over with. The play dead. But even on that touchdown run, I wish I had it going. But even on the touchdown run, he made the wrong read. But since everybody was blocking, even number 9, he didn't drop. I guess they would have said that he would have dropped the block, but whatever. But number 9, he was balling, man, with as far as that block on the outside, and he bust up through the field, and then Montgomery bust up. So everybody blocking Montgomery, and he's a class act too because he made sure Craig Reynolds got his first touchdown. He could have just went on there. He could have been
told
like,
him I wasn't coming. He said, you better get your ass in there.
he could have told Montgomery could have said, no, I'm gonna get this touchdown for Bobby Fantasy team to make sure he pulled this one out. But no, I'm gonna let Craig Reynolds get it. So I was mad about it at first, but then I realized it was a good thing. My bad. Then I realized it was a good thing. So shout out to Montgomery. He's just a class act. The thing that surprised me the most about him is that he do not go down easy. He got great balance. Dudes lightweight bounce off of him, and like when they like holding his legs, they still can't get him down because he be trying to inch out and all that stuff. So I like Montgomery, and just the fact that he made sure Craig Reynolds get on the board too, man. That's just he didn't have to do that, man. NFL is a stats-based job where that touchdown could have been used in other negotiations in the future. But you never know. That might be the reason why Craig Reynolds take off next week or whatever. But I'm just happy that we got a running back that ain't blind because we had a couple dogs that was blind. So them dogs couldn't hunt. So he ain't blind and he tough. Yeah, so the Montgomery stop is up, way up.
Mm-hmm.
So who next, Elijah? I don't even know the rotation. How about Elijah?
Let's go, Reggie. Reggie, what do you got on David Montgomery?
I'm just looking at his stats right now. So right now, he is 7th in the league in rushing. That's with him missing a game. He is 3rd in touchdowns. Once again, that's with him missing a game. He has 6 touchdowns on the season. Only 2 ahead of him is Raheem Mostert with 7 and McCaffrey with 7. He is 3rd out of running backs and first downs rushed for. So you got Christian McCaffrey up there. Then you got Zach Moss, who is just being a beast, even with Taylor situation happening. And then you got David Montgomery with 23. But once again, that's with him missing the game. Yards per game, he's 4th in the league. He's behind McCaffrey with 102, Zach Moss with 111, and A-Chain with 115, which has just been insane. But right now, he's at 92.8. Right now, he's a definition of what we were talking about when David Montgomery got here, when he was signed. Like, dog, he's productive with a horrible Chicago offensive line. Absolutely still productive. So this was I've seen this coming when we got him in, and the only thing about Montgomery, you kind of brought it up, Bobby. He does tend to fight so much that he leaves himself open to a fumble.
Yeah.
So the one fumble that he did have this year, that's literally what happened. He was literally just churning and somebody got him. That's the only real weakness in his game, but his weakness is a byproduct of a strength that he has. So it's one of the things
you gotta take it. You
take it with it, because all that other production that you get, I'm gonna roll with that all day long.
Right.
So David Montgomery, you got me over here saying Jamal who? Swift who? Now I'm just waiting on Gibbs to get back healthy, and then we get headed, to have this two-headed monster coming out this backfield. What you think, Nate?
Man, like I say, man, like I was telling people, he was mad for different reasons that Jamal left. Some people thought that the production wouldn't be the same. Some people, anytime you break a Barry Sanders record, then it's big news. But one of my boys, who y'all had on the show, my boy Dallas, his concern was the moral impact of Jamal and how he was the part of the team. So that was his concern. But as we've seen now, when you have this new regime and this new locker room, you don't have one voice. You have multiple guys. Cam Sutton to, Panay, from Panay to Charlie Gardner, from Charlie Gardner to Benito to Bugs.
Taylor Decker.
A team with Taylor Decker where now it's not one guy who's looked at as the leader, where everybody taking it up on their ownership together to do it. So that part, was the only thing that certain, guys who looked at it outside of stats wise looked at that. But that's completely nothing. The stats thing, we knew I wasn't concerned about that. I said I instantly knew better running back. Younger, better vision, quicker burst.
The wiggle in the hips, baby. The wiggle in the hips. You see the wiggle?
Oh my God. The only concern, which was one of the things that me and Bobby always talk about, was pass blocking, because as we knew, Jamal Williams is one of the best, pass blockers at the running back position. And David Montgomery has held his own. He got ran over one time.
He did. He didn't get.
Was that Kansas City? Was that Kansas City?
Yeah. Nick Bolton, man. Nick Bolton ran him over, but he's still blocking. He's still meeting guys in the hole. And he's helping that offensive line keep Jared Goff upright. And along with that, man, he's running hard. And he's taking on his leadership. Especially like we say, that was Craig Reynolds' first career NFL touchdown. He was tired finna come out the game, and it wasn't just Montgomery. You seen Ben Johnson. They both threw their hand at him like, nah, stay in there. Stay in there. When your offensive coordinator and your running back number one telling you, no, we want you to get this. And to me, and then the defense knew he was going to get it.
And he still bust through.
And the offensive line still made sure he got it. That is camaraderie. That's morale. That is a love. And hey, kneecaps, butt cheeks, it don't matter. But I do like Dan Campbell's new clothes. Hey, y'all think I'm just hunting? We ain't hard to find. We still hunting y'all.
Hey, Nate, you know what the funny thing about this is? One of the things we talk about all the time, you can't calculate two things, chemistry and health.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a third thing that you can't calculate, effective depth. And that's the crazy thing about that situation with Craig Reynolds. You sitting there like, hey, man, we need you too. We need you up and at your best at all times. You know why? Because at any time, we could lose a guy. Right now, Gibbs is out. You really the backup running back.
The best teams are when the backups come in and you don't miss a beat. Not saying they playing at all pro level. It's just the wheels keep turning. No kinks.
And we've seen it. We've seen it in the secondary. We've seen it on the offensive line. And even right now, in a situation like that, you see it out in the backfield.
Hey, even
Yeah,
your
man.
boy, hey, what's the dude name, number 25 that he always
Will Harris. Will Harris
He
had a
was
really
balling,
good
Nate.
game. Oh,
He was
and I
balling,
want
Nate.
everybody get off Jerry Jacobs' ass.
Oh yeah, he leading the league in the interceptions. So I see
Man,
that.
I
not
hope it ain't
just that,
another
man.
Warrior situation.
Oh yeah.
No, it's different. No, I'm just got because a lot of people called him this dude. I hated with a passion, man. I hated him with a
Nevin
passion.
Lawson.
That goddamn Nevin Lawson, man.
I knew it.
I
I
do,
knew it.
I
I knew you
you
talking
know,
about
I
Nevin
hated
Lawson.
that. Man, I think Nevin Lawson had a center block on his helmet because he couldn't turn his head around.
every time Nate hears the word Nevin Lawson, he just goes,
Yeah, I already knew.
God, I could not stand that dude, man. Listen, I ain't never seen a quarterback get hit in the back of the head with the ball more
So
times than
many
him because he
times.
was turning his head
So
around.
many times I've seen it because he
And
never turned his head.
never and still got a pass interference. Like, no, all you gotta do is just turn around. Just turn around and just wave, and you will hit the ball. Like, and I remember, uh, uh, who was that? Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark was like, only thing he had to do was wave high, he would have hit the ball. But everybody was talking about Nevin Lawson and was dogging him. And then people know I've been on Nevin Lawson since he came here as an undrafted rookie, just because he plays hard, physical. Like he's not the fastest guy, but he competes. He's got long arms and understands the defense. So yeah, hey, not Nevin Lawson, Jerry Jacobs. I'm giving you your flowers, and I told these fools RELAX. Eli, to you, dog.
All right, so I got two things to work in, and neither one of these are necessarily Lions related, but these are things that, I want to put on the radar so that when you hear about these things later, you don't go, oh, I never heard about that before. You can say, Elijah already told me about that, okay? So first, I got to take us all the way back to 2003. In 2003, not the year I was born. I was born in 93. Anyway,
Oh.
2003, back in 2003, my father and I were going to high school games at his alma mater, Landmark Christian School in Fairburn, Georgia. They're the War Eagles, in case you were curious. Funny enough, they're the War Eagles, but they got the colors of Notre Dame, and that's because there was an argument between the two people who founded the school. One was a Notre Dame fan, one was an Auburn fan. So they said, all right, we're going to do the Notre Dame colors. We're going to take the War Eagle from Auburn. That's how they came up with it. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Fairburn, Georgia. That's the site of my story for you. At the time, I didn't know much about football. I was just starting to get into football. And the person who made me fall in love with the quarterback position was the quarterback of Landmark Christian School at the time. His name was Alex Mortensen. Now, Alex Mortensen is the son of famous ESPN reporter Chris Mortensen. And there was a lot of hype that summer because John Elway had come to town to watch Alex practice. Joe Montana came to watch Alex practice. And it was that sort of deal. Basically, Chris was calling in all these different people who wanted to come in and take a look at his son, because his son was just a baller at the quarterback position. I think he had like 29 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Like, he was doing some big things. And he was the reason that I fell in love with the quarterback position. He was partly the reason. The other part was Reggie Ball at Georgia Tech, which that's a story for a different time. But Alex Mortensen, I love the way that he played football. He was a traditional pocket passer. And when he went on and chose to go to Arkansas, I was hoping that he would take over the position at Arkansas, but he never did. Sometimes you can be a great high school athlete, you go to college, different things happen, right? He went into a situation where they had Matt Jones, if you remember that guy at Arkansas. Then they had Casey Dick, and they had a couple other different people that were in front of him, but he never really got his chance to start. He played a little bit. Then he went to Samford University, transferred back to Arkansas to finish his college career. And I saw him back when, and I'm trying to remember the two teams that were playing that night, but it was the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills, I believe, in the Hall of Fame game. Alex got on national TV. And I was like, uh-oh, here's this guy that I remember rooting for in high school. This is pretty cool. Like, he's on national TV playing in the Hall of Fame game. He went 1 for 2, threw a pick 6, and that was it. And I went, shit, okay. So I thought that was the end of the story. I thought that was the end of the story, but it wasn't, because he got into the coaching profession. He started out in New Mexico, then ended up getting a job on Nick Saban's staff as an offensive analyst. And he was there from 2017 to 2022. Now, while at Alabama, he saw some pretty good quarterbacks go through there. And those quarterbacks credited Alex with giving them that extra edge that they needed on Saturdays, because he would have special meetings with the offense to show them what the defense was doing, because he was always credited as being a very smart guy when it came to football. So he was doing a lot more than just holding a clipboard on the sidelines and collecting a paycheck. He was out there making some moves. And this past offseason, when UAB hired Trent Dilfer to be the head coach down there at University of Alabama, Birmingham, Alex Mortensen got a call to be the offensive coordinator for UAB. And the reason why I bring them up to you now is because UAB is averaging 31 points a game in his first season as offensive coordinator. And normally I would look at that and say, well, who are they playing, right? But this is somebody who Nick Saban himself spoke very highly of. And so I'm putting Alex on your radar, because right now he's at UAB, but who knows where he might be in a few years from now. So I know we love Ben Johnson. Maybe take a look at Alex in a few years after he has a little bit of time to develop. I will say one game that I thought UAB was going to get absolutely destroyed in, and they actually hung in there a lot longer than I thought they would, was against Georgia. And I believe they ended up scoring 21 points against Georgia, which is freaking unheard of against that defense. So again, watch out for Alex Mortensen. First year there, doesn't even have any players that he recruited there. They're already scoring 31 points. That's pretty cool stuff. Second thing I want to put on your radar, Drake May. A lot of people are talking about Drake May this, Drake May that out of North Carolina. Oh my God, he's so great. He's going to go in the top 5 next year after Caleb Williams, right? Drake May is not even first in the ACC when it comes to passing touchdowns right now. He's got 8 this season. The guy who is first, or damn near the top, is Georgia Tech's quarterback, Haynes King. Now, here's what I like about Haynes King. He was at Texas A&M, didn't play very well at Texas A&M. One year, I believe he broke his leg, and then the other year, he was just damn near inconsistent. But he comes to Georgia Tech, finds a new home in Atlanta, and he has got, through 5 games this season, I should say 6, because they played against Miami last week. Through 6 games this season, 16 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Nobody's talking about Haynes King. And most likely the reason why is because he plays for a 3-3 Georgia Tech team. But I'm just saying, watch out for Haynes King. He is somebody who is, I'll call him a game manager, but I say it with every bit of love in my heart. But he is also just a gamer. And I don't know how many people stayed up late to watch that Miami game. I don't know how many did. I know everybody remembers the final couple plays of the game. But man, he went in there with a white jersey, came out with a damn near green jersey. But he was hanging in there, throwing pass after pass after pass, running when he needed to. I'm just saying, this kid deserves to be on your radar. We don't need him here with the Lions, but he's somebody that somebody's going to get, and it's going to be a steal. Now, he's got 3 years of eligibility, but I can almost guarantee you if he throws 30 touchdowns in the ACC this year, he is not coming back to school.
Well, hell, yeah, I'm gonna say after them 3 years, when he come out, he's gonna be 26.
Right, right. But like I said, but that's the whole transfer portal thing, right? But I'm just saying,
Right.
if he throws 30 touchdowns, and like I said, right now everybody loves Drake May, and I'm not saying anything against Drake May. I haven't really had time to really dive into the analysis on him, so I got no opinion on Drake May. But what I am saying is nobody's talking about Haynes King, and they probably should, because he's looking pretty good right now. Obviously, he's got to keep it going. But it's not like Georgia Tech has played a bunch of cupcakes either. Like they opened the season against Louisville, and Louisville is freaking undefeated right now. Mm-hmm. So check out Haynes King if you haven't already. You might like what you see. Like I said, I feel like he's got a little bit of dog in him, if you get what I'm saying. So those are the two things I had. And then obviously we got to talk about the Buccaneers. That's coming up this weekend. 425. Let me toss it over to Bobby. Bobby, Buccaneers game. What do you think?
I think this is another chance to show how good of a team we is. The Buccaneers is number 1 in their division. So, and we number 1 in ours. So that is probably a playoff matchup possibility. So, Tampa Bay got a lot of weapons on offense, believe it or not. Just the names alone and leave you cause to pause. But the way I see as our team is, it doesn't matter who we get in front of. We supposed to win. So I'm gonna go 23-12. I don't know why that number in my mind. 23-12 Lions. So. Okay. And fuck Baker Mayfield, because I know you won't bring him up. So I'm gonna want to put that up there at first. So
you funny, Bobby. You funny. Nate Rucker, what do you got?
First of all, I see Bobby. I had your back because I was going to say fuck Baker as well. But I got the Lions 28-17. Yeah, you know, they definitely got some weapons, but one thing that they tell you is that running game and defense travels.
Right. So,
you know, I think, you know, and then also there's reports that pretty much Brian Branch should be back. Amon-Ra should be back. They haven't said anything about Gibbs yet. This team having a full complement going down there, man, I think we should just go down there and just lock the hell out their ass. I mean, we beat Kansas City's number 1 in their division, smacked them. Falcons. No, wait, are Falcons number 1 or is Tampa number 1 now?
No, Tampa number 1. Tampa been number 1. That's why they flexed the game. That's why they flexed the game, because they was number 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right. The Falcons were number 1. Because the Falcons were undefeated too when we beat them. The Falcons was 3-0. Then we put a fucking 40. How many we put on their head? I can't even remember.
Yeah, we whooped them.
We whooped them too. So as of right now, all these guys, man, this definitely should be another team that we just wash down the board. We got 2 Rex arms in the middle, Vita Vea, but it's them linebackers, man. Levante David and Devin White. So Porter, they got to be on their shit because them boys can run. Eli, what you got?
All right, so I'm looking back in my book here. A few weeks ago, when we did predictions, I had us winning this game in overtime, 38-31. That was my score that I said a few weeks back. Now, I also will add on to it because it's my opportunity to talk my shit, and I like to do that. I said to you a few weeks ago, watch out for Baker Mayfield.
I knew it.
Watch out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everybody laughed at me.
I'm still laughing.
I'm still laughing. They ain't played us yet, so I'm still laughing.
Well, hey, my point was, until they play us, watch how good they are. That was my point, which was already proven. So I feel good about myself. But 38-31 in overtime, that's what I said a few weeks ago. I got to change it up, though, because at that point in time, We haven't played any games yet whenever I made those predictions. And now all of a sudden we got the best rushing defense in the league. So I'm going to change it up and I'm going to say that Aiden Hutchinson and then boys on defense, at least privately, in their private moments, say what Nate and Bobby said, which was, what was that, Bobby? About Baker
Mayfield. Baker Mayfield. We should
So
put
I
a cop on our team. We should put a cop on our team because I know he can't outrun them.
Man, that's not even nice. But I think that this defense shows up once again. I think our offense shows up once again. And I'm going to change my score prediction from 38-31 in overtime to 35-10 final score.
Oh, shit.
I
Okay.
think this defense is for real. I will say the Buccaneers defense, as Nate already said, they got some talent over there, but they ain't seen an offense like ours yet. So I'm going to say 35-10 final score. Lions going to 5-1.
And then I have to apologize to the defensive coordinator too, man. Aaron Glenn. If they do 35-10, I'm gonna have to get my apologies together.
I tell you what, though, watching Lions games has been different this year, because in years past you would sit down and you're watching the game and you're going, oh wow, this is exciting to the very end. I don't know what's going to happen. This year it's over before halftime and we're just sitting there like, man, I'm kind of falling asleep over here. My Lions doing such a good job that I might doze off for a couple minutes. I mean, that's how it's been for me at the very least. I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm like, damn, they already got it.
I'll be lit and be passing out on their ass sometime too. But not lately though.
But they're putting teams away before halftime. So I think this is another one of those situations. I really do. I don't really think it's a game. And again, I'm saying that because of Aaron Glenn. Because if Aaron Glenn don't show up with that defense, it might be 38-31. So we'll see. But that's what I got for you. Reggie said he had to run, so I don't think he's still with us on the chat. But if he is, okay. So Nate's saying no, he's not. But he's showing up on my screen, so I don't know. But with that, we'll go to closing remarks, my friends. I'll open us up here, and then I'll close this out too. But I'll open it up by saying this. It's not a Lions-related thing, but we did just post a brand new trailer for our film Captain Corpse. If y'all wouldn't mind, check that out on YouTube for me. Give it a like, give it a comment if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you don't got to tell me about it. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like if you ever meet somebody in real life, you don't tell them the things that, you hate about them, right? So if you don't like it, don't comment. All right. But if you do like it, make sure you leave some love. We certainly would appreciate it. With that, let's toss it over to Bobby Bless, the #1 Lions fan. Bobby, closing remarks.
This is a fun episode. I don't know how everybody feel about it, but I laugh hard. This is the best one ever for number 50. And it's just funny, like, because I be catching myself before I go off on people online now. I try to shoot stuff off you guys. And some of the stuff y'all say I'll be using in other conversations, even if I don't agree on here, I will lie in someone's comment section and use Reggie's point of view, use Elijah's point of view. I play multiple devil advocates, especially if they I'm paid enough. I want to win a conversation. I'll just go full Reggie, or I'll just go full Elijah, or I'll just go full Nate. You guys gave me a lot of energy, a lot of bullets in my gun, so to say. So thank you guys for all the content. And you might see me in someone's comment section saying, "Hey, I told Bobby that." But other than that, good episode, guys. How about you, Nate?
As long as I don't get a friend's request from a different Elijah Winfrey, and I know it's Bobby behind the keys. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, man, like I say, man, it's always, it's always fun, man. Doing this with my guys. This is a milestone, man. We started from 1, made it our first season. Now we're at 50 episodes. So to me, man, that's good. We got the same guys, we've gotten better and better, as we've gotten into this. And, hey, like I said, we come a long way, man. If y'all don't know, everybody, y'all see that logo behind me right now? I gotta put up on the screen, wear it on my chest. Look, you're on the hunt, baby.
So to wrap things up, hey, I just want to say again, thank you to you at home watching, however you watch this, whether you watch it later, you're watching it right now, however you're doing it. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We're up over 450 subscribers now, which is nuts because last year at this time we were at like 60. So thank you so much for all the support. We've grown, as Nate just told you. And I can tell you what, I would not want to do this show with anybody else. So with all that in mind, hey, for Reggie Funches, for the #1 Lions fan, you know, Mr. Bobby Blessing.
Hey, one more hat. I need more hats. I need more hats. I think this is a great
That's
scenario.
right. And for
The money ain't gone.
Nate Rucker in that beautiful On the Hunt backdrop. Hey, this is the On the Hunt podcast. Y'all be good to yourself, be good to others. Till next time, we'll see you soon.